Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Simulator video. Today, we are going to be taking this Boeing 777-300ER all the way from Washington Dulles to Jeddah in the Middle East. This is about just a under 12 hour flight, so yeah, we do have a long ways ahead of us in this flight. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and head into this aircraft, and we're going to go ahead and set it up for departure. We'll see you guys in just 1 second. Alright, so we have now, we're now in our cockpit, sorry. We're going to go ahead and set our coordinates into the plane, so that way we have our location. Because without that, we wouldn't, the plane wouldn't know where we are, so it's always a mandatory thing when setting up the aircraft. And then we're basically just going to put in like the rest of our information. I won't talk very much. We're just going to put in the rest of the information and then, well, really just sit back and enjoy it. Alright, so we are just now, we're just about done setting up the aircraft. We just got to do a few more things, like do a couple checklists, and then we should be off the ground. We're going to go ahead and disconnect everything off from the aircraft, and then we're going to get the chocks removed, so that way we can get our pushback started. There we go, just remove everything, and yep, as you can see, everything is out of sight. So now what we're going to do is going to come back in here, and then we're going to put the tablet down there. We're going to come up here and then turn on our window heat, our hydraulics, and our fuel pumps, and then we can get our pushback started. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start engine number 1 first, and then we're going to start engine 2 after that. Okay, so now engine 1 is just about stable. We're going to start engine number 2, and then we're going to come down here and give fuel to engine 2. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do our checklist: auto brake, rejecting takeoff, and then we're going to conduct our flight control test real quick. Alright, oh whoops, did not mean to do that, my apologies. Okay, full right. Okay, looks good. Full left, full forwards, full back, and then we're going to push our rudder pedals to make sure that they are working as well. And I believe after that all we have to do is set our flaps, and then we're good to go. And off we go. Let's go ahead and just make sure everything's good. Okay, oh yeah, our takeoff speed's definitely. You know, I find myself like forgetting about them. I don't know why. Like I need my takeoff speeds because I have a heavy payload. I have a lot of fuel and a lot of cargo and all that, and so that I need to like make sure those V1 speeds are there, because otherwise this plane's not gonna know when or what speed it needs to take off at, and we don't want that. We are going to be using max thrust. I know it says I'm going to use like 90%, but I'm going to take control of the thrust for the takeoff, because I'm really just trying to make it off the ground as quick as I possibly can, because 172 or 173, whatever my V1 speed is, yeah, we definitely got to use a bit more thrust than we usually use if it was a bit less, if our V speed's a bit lower, but that's just due to the heavy payload that we have. Okay, I want to deeply apologize. I did not record the takeoff. Sorry, I did not. I didn't even. I thought I was still recording. That was my apologies, guys. My apologies. But we're in the air. We didn't end up overrunning the runway. Like, okay, no, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I was gonna bring up a flight, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it, guys. I'm not gonna do it. And that's not me no more. Alright, we are now at a cruising altitude of 310, 31,000 feet. We are going to go a bit higher, but we got to wait till we get to those waypoints to do so. Yo, I can see JFK from here. That's actually pretty cool. See, it is down there. That's actually pretty cool. It's pretty impressive for Xbox Series X. I'll give it that. So as you guys can see, it is literally pitch black outside. Look, oh my goodness, it looks so cool. Even though you just can't really see nothing, but it looks really, really cool. So we are going to be landing like early in the morning, 5-6 a.m. something like that. So we will be getting a beautiful sunrise on approach. So I'll be looking forward to that. Alright, we have now reached the top of the descent, and as y'all can see, we are treated with a sunrise. You know, the sky looks so, like, just beautiful. As y'all can see, it's got like a little purple, pink, like, peach type color. I don't know. It's just cool. Like, that's amazing. Alright, so now I am gonna hand fly it, and I'm gonna disconnect all of us. As y'all can see, I am a bit high, but I learned this little trick. Now I know this is obvious, but I'm just gonna tell you though. So whenever I cut the throttles, like I realized this a long time ago. I realized that like when you cut the throttles, it's like the plane doesn't want to descend, so it kind of like helps you descend without having to like push the nose down, like trying to nose dive a little bit. It just helps you. So all you got to do is basically just cut the throttles and basically your plane just doesn't want to climb unless if it has power, which I mean that's obvious, since you know if you're trying to ascend, right? You're trying to gain altitude. I mean, yeah, you're gonna need thrust, but when trying to land, it actually helps. So that way you don't necessarily got a nosedive. That is beautiful. So we made it safely on the ground in Jeddah. That's where we are. So this route was about like 5,200 nautical miles. So yeah, it was a pretty long flight, but hey, we made it safely. We're gonna go ahead and taxi onto the gate. Okay, so we have now arrived at the gate. We're now going to go ahead and shut everything down. Well, that was a pretty cool flight. 11 hours, man. That's it's got to be on my record. All right, let's go ahead and turn off the window heats. Turn off the ATSURs. I'm doing this in the wrong way. I don't even know why. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching this. I want to thank you guys for joining me on this long haul flight, and I will be doing more flights like this again. So, I'll see you guys in our next video.